So,
Yes. Yes.
So in the atomic structure chapter, first we have started with Dalton's theory, and we have seen the limitations of Dalton's theory, and we concluded that after the discovery of electron, proton, and neutron, Dalton's theory was completely discarded. And after the discovery of isotopes and isobars also, जो particular Dalton theory है completely fail हो चुका है. So we have then discussed about the discovery of electron, which was made by J.J. Thomson. In that particular experiment, we have taken a apparatus. In the apparatus, we are having a glass tube, which is called as discharge tube and or the Crookes tube. Inside the glass tube, we have placed two metal plates, and those two metal plates are connected to the two terminals of the battery. And the voltage of the battery is very, very high, which is almost equal to 10,000 volts. Inside the tube, we also placed the gas at low pressure in order to see the observations. If you are keeping the gas at high pressures, you may not observe specific observations. Hence, you need to maintain low pressure. Low pressure का मतलब ये होगा the number of gas molecules which you are taking inside the tube must be less. Okay. Then we have seen the material zinc sulfide screen, whose property is phosphorescent. Phosphorescent means any substance which produces sparks or light is called as phosphorescent substance. Zinc sulfide has its phosphorescence property. Whenever any charged particle falls on it, then only it will show that particular property. Okay. So, ये जो particular ZNS screen है, in the experiment, when we started the experiment, this particular ZNS screen produced some sparks or scintillations. From that, we concluded the rays which are emitted from the cathode and which are falling on this particular ZNS screen must be charged. In order to understand the nature of the charge, we have placed an external battery. When we placed an external battery, the rays got deviated towards the positive terminal, which is concluded by more and more sparks in the region which is close to the positive terminal. If the sparks are more and more in the region which is close to the negative terminal, तब ये वो जो charges है वो positive charge हो जाना चाहिए था. But as the sparks are more and more concentrated towards the negative terminal, we are saying that these must be negatively charged. After that, we placed a small wheel, a mechanical wheel in the path of the cathode rays. When we placed a wheel, the wheel started to rotate. From that, we concluded that these rays must be having a property called mass. Because of the property of mass, they were able to transfer their kinetic energy to wheel. If they don't possess any mass, ये जो particular wheel है, it can never rotate. So the important properties of cathode rays is, one is they are having charge and the other is they possess mass. उसके बाद another property, these cathode rays travel in straight lines, which is observed because of the shadow of the opaque object. One more important thing which you need to understand is the source of the cathode rays. कहाँ से आ रहा है cathode rays? One of the obvious source is the metal plate. The metal plate is attached to the high voltage negative terminal. Because of this particular high voltage, the negative charges inside the metal plate are repelled. As a result, the negative charges are emerging out, okay, or ejected out. So one of the source is the cathode or the metal plate. There is another source. Whenever these rays are coming with very high velocities, if they fall on the gas atoms, so gas atoms के अंदर जो भी negative charge रहेगा, that will be emitted out, okay, that will be emitted out or kicked out. Those particular negative charges along with these negative charges will constitute the cathode rays. So the source of cathode rays is both the metal plate as well as the gas atoms. उसके बाद उसने क्या किया? With the help of some experiment, he found the value of charge of that particular cathode ray particle divided by mass of the cathode ray particle, E by M ratio. E by M ratio is nothing but charge of that particular particle divided by mass of it. When he found the value of E by M in different experiments, where he replaced metals with different elements and the gases also with different gases, he observed E by M ratio as a unique value or a constant value. There is no difference in the E by M ratio. In all the experiment, he was observing some sparks on the ZNS screen. the rotation of the wheel, and the shadow. So in all the experiments, there are some rays coming from the cathode as well as the gas atoms. ये तो clear है. And those particular rays which are coming out of them are of the same nature, and that is judged based on E/M ratio. If the E/M ratio is different in different cases, वो सारे rays एक जैसे नहीं होगा. Their nature will be different. As they are having a same E/M ratio, I am concluding that those rays are present in each and every atom or each and every element. Hence, we are concluding them to be fundamental. So cathode rays are fundamental, and those particular cathode rays are named as electrons by another scientist, Tony. उसके बाद we have seen Millikan oil drop experiment. In this experiment, the basic idea, ये जो experiment है, इसमें आप लोग को इतना ही समझना है उसने कैसे किया है. What are the things he considered to understand the charge on an electron? No need to do the calculations. Okay. इस particular experiment में क्या हुआ? He has taken an apparatus. That apparatus is a glass chamber. Inside the glass chamber, he placed two metal plates. One of the metal plate is connected to positive terminal and the other is connected to negative terminal. So जो metal plate positive के साथ attach होगा उसके ऊपर positive charge आएगा. जो metal plate negative के साथ attach होगा उसके ऊपर negative charge आएगा. Okay. Before the start of the experiment, उसने क्या किया? The gas which is present between the two metal plates, he ionized that particular gas. Ionization का मतलब क्या है? He removed the electron present inside the atom. उसके लिए हमने concept क्या पढ़ा? Whenever in any system, if the energy is more, the stability of the system is less. In a classroom, if the energy of the students is very high, they will be talking among each other. As a result, they won't be concentrating on the lecture. In which case, the stability of that particular system is very, very less. Suppose if the students are not having any energy, so उनके पास energy नहीं होने की वजह से they won't be interacting with other students. Okay, they will be concentrating on the lecture. As a result, that particular system will be stable. Okay, so ये जो energy है, it also depends on attractive forces. If the attractive forces are more, then the student will be concentrating on the lecturer rather than talking with others. Okay, so more is the attractive force, more will be the stability. So if more is the stability, less will be the energy of the system. Okay, all these points are interrelated, or else I can, as a general statement, I can say energy is inversely proportional to stability. Can I mark that? Energy is inversely proportional to stability. More is the energy, less is the stability, less is the energy, more is the stability. And with respect to attractive forces, more are the attractive forces, more will be the stability. Okay. So I can also say energy is inversely proportional to attractive forces. ठीक है. So हमने क्या किया है? We incidented some radiation on the electron, and we have increased the energy of the electron. If the energy of the electron is increased, its stability must be decreased. Stability decrease होने का मतलब क्या है? Its distance from the nucleus must be increased. First of all, उसके अंदर stability किस वजह से आ रहा है? Because of its positive interaction with the nucleus, because of its attractive forces with the nucleus. If I'm saying that its stability is decreasing, the attractive forces must decrease. Attractive forces decrease होने के लिए, the distance of the electron from the nucleus must be increasing. So whenever I'm incidenting energy on the electron will be going away and away from the nucleus. Reason क्या है? उसका energy बढ़ता जा रहा है, इसका मतलब stability घटना चाहिए. Stability घट रहा है मतलब attractive forces भी घटना चाहिए. Attractive forces घटने के लिए उनके बीच में distance बढ़ना चाहिए. Okay? If you are having any doubt, ask me. Okay? ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
So whenever I am increasing the energy, the electron is going away and away from the nucleus. So if I am incidenting sufficient energy, that sufficient energy can be provided by X-rays. That sufficient energy can be provided by a type of rays called X-rays. So whenever the electron consumes that particular X-ray, it will be going out of the system. As a result, it will be converting into some positively charged species plus electron. So a particular space है इधर. Now this particular space is full of electrons. Now you अभी क्या करना है? You need to spray some oil droplets. Those particular oil droplets which are formed will be of different sizes. They need not necessarily be of same size. They can be of different sizes. Whenever such oil droplet falls through this particular space, इलेक्ट्रॉन्स जो है उनके ऊपर जाके लगने के चांस है, बिकॉज ये जो ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट है इट अट्रैक्ट्स डस्ट पार्टिकल्स, सेवरल अदर थिंग्स, because of the we say something called it is having some residual force on it, residual attractive force. Residual मतलब unbalanced force. Every oil droplet has some unbalanced force. Because of that particular force it is attracting an electron. नहीं तो उसके बारे में ज्यादा अभी टेंशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं. We will be understanding that in detail in later classes. As of now, understand that the oil droplet is having some interaction with the electron. As a result, the electron is getting attached onto the oil droplet. Okay. If the electrons are attached,
Sir,
yeah.
I have a
Tell
question.
me. Yeah, tell me.
Yes, so while the oil droplet goes through that small layer there above, so while going through there, it can get, sir, it can get positively charged, right? Because
Yeah,
there
yeah,
are
exactly.
protons there.
हाँ हाँ अभी मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? Sorry, again, once again, repeat the question.
Like that plate which is there above,
Yeah,
got positively charged, so the
yeah.
electron will be charged, right? Because it goes through that plate.
देखो,
So that is why.
समझा मैं. I understood your question. I will ask you one more question, but ये जो question है, switch on this particular battery, only the oil droplet passes through it. Starting में on मत करना. Once it is getting, once the oil droplets are entering in this particular space, then on the battery.
Okay, okay.
You can do that. दूसरा क्वेश्चन क्या हो सकता है? सिस्टम के अंदर यू आर हैविंग, ये जो स्पेस में इलेक्ट्रॉन्स ही नहीं है, यू आर आल्सो हैविंग द पॉजिटिवली चार्ज स्पीशीज.
Yes, so electrons
Whenever you are, so those particular positively charged species can also attach onto the oil droplet, which will happen definitely. वो जो particular positively charged species है वो भी attach होगा, but वो जो particular oil droplets में क्या होगा? If the net charge on the oil droplet is positive, what will happen? Those particular oil droplets will be falling downwards, because this particular positive charge and that positive charge will be repelled, so downward force रहेगा. ये जो particular negative plate है वो positively charged oil droplet को वो भी attract करेगा, वो भी नीचे जाएगा. So those particular oil droplets won't be staying in space.
okay.
The oil droplets which are having a net negative charge will be staying stationary, or will become stationary. Okay.
Yes, and so it can also happen that the electrons can go up and stick to the metal plate above.
It can happen. It can happen, Viraj.
Yes, so then what can be done?
We are not just ionizing only one gas particle, right? There will be some things which will be attracted towards that, but there will be parallelly there will be other electrons will be attached onto the oil droplet. We are considering all possible situations.
Okay,
We won't be ionizing just one atom. You will be ionizing some large number of atoms. Okay.
Yes.
If the electron is moving towards it, we may not observe anything. Okay. Okay. So if you are analyzing a given oil droplet, on the oil droplet, if you are having some n number of electrons, the total charge will be because of those n electrons. The number of electrons which will be attached on the oil droplet will be a function of its size. More is the size, greater will be the probability for attachment of more number of electrons. If the size is very, very less for the oil droplet, the number of electrons attached will be less. Okay. क्योंकि एक इलेक्ट्रॉन लगने के बाद दूसरे इलेक्ट्रॉन जाके लगने के लिए there will be repulsive forces. So there will be only a layer of electrons. Okay. If the size is very, very less, एक इलेक्ट्रॉन होने के बाद दूसरे इलेक्ट्रॉन जाके लगने का चांस कम हो जाएगा, because of the repulsive forces between negative charges. Okay. So the number of electrons on the oil droplet will be function of its size. Suppose if you are taking any oil droplet, if you are analyzing the forces present on it, what are the forces on it? The forces will be attractive force between the positively charged metal plate and the charge on the oil droplet, and there will be a repulsive force between the negatively charged metal plate and the charge on the oil droplet. Okay, so there are two forces which are acting in upward direction. One is the attractive force and the other is the repulsive force. And ये जो forces generate हुआ है, these forces got generated because of the interaction between the charges. ये positive charge, negative charge, ये negative charge के बीच में interaction के वजह से there is a downward force which is acting downwards. Okay, there is a force which is acting downwards, which is arising because of the weight of the oil droplet. Okay, so if these forces, upward forces, balance the downward force, then the oil droplet can become stationary. So upward force kya hai? It is because of interaction of Q and Q, capital Q and small q. Downward force is because of mass. I am not writing the exact formula here. What is the exact interaction? This will be some function of capital Q into small q. Rest all other things will be some constants which we will be knowing. जैसे acceleration due to gravity हमको पता है, वैसा ही ये जो particular इधर जो constant आएगा वो भी पता होगा. No need to worry. You will be learning that in future classes. Okay.
Yes. So, sir, like if we get the right ratio, the correct ratio,
Okay.
then we can make a oil droplet levitate.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
So in the experiment, he found several oil droplets floating in different regions. Okay. So for all those oil droplets, I can apply the formula. I can apply the equation as upward forces balancing the downward force. So apply karte samay, Q is a known quantity, capital Q, because it is the charge on the metal plate, which is obtained because of the battery. The battery which you are putting that, you will be knowing the specifications of it. So you can find the charge on it. Okay. Or at least Millikan can find the charge on it. As of now, you may not be knowing the formulas for finding the charge on this particular metal plate, but in future classes, you will be learning that. No need to worry. So ये जो Q है, ये known है. ये जो G है, acceleration due to gravity, वो भी known है. ये जो M, mass of the oil droplet, can be known if you know the size of the oil droplet, size and density. Density, the formula of density, we know it as density is equals to mass upon volume. So if you want to find mass, it is density times volume. Density of the oil droplet will be known because you are choosing that particular oil. Volume of it can be known if you know the radius of it. An oil droplet can be considered as sphere. If you know the radius of it, the volume will become 4/3 pi r cube. This is the volume of the sphere. तुम लोग अभी पढ़ा होगा, नहीं तो अगर पढ़ा नहीं तो this is the formula for volume of the sphere, 4/3 pi r cube. R is the radius of that particular sphere. The radius can be measured with the help of instruments, with the help of some instruments which will be available in the laboratory. So वो भी हम कर सकते हैं. No need to worry. Okay. So once you find the mass and you already know G, you already know Q. Can you find the only unknown which is Q, small q? What is small q? Small q is the total charge on the oil droplet. Okay. If he found the total charge on the oil droplet in different experiments. बहुत सारे experiments किया उसने. He listed out all the values of this small q and he arranged them in increasing orders of their values, magnitude of the charge. When he arranged them in increasing order, the least value in any experiment he found was 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19, and rest all other values he was able to express in terms of this particular least value, 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. Okay, इसका मतलब क्या होना चाहिए? ये जो particular least value है must be the charge of electron, charge of one electron. Okay, and ये जो charges है, these are minus. Okay, because charge of the electron is negative. So that particular least value is taken as charge of electron, and the charge of electron is minus 1.6, minus 1.6. While calculating E by M, we are interested only in its positive value. We are just dividing its magnitude, charge upon mass. We are taking only the magnitude. We are not considering the sign of it. Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. So how did he measure this negative value?
Negative value, no need to measure that. we already concluded that the charge of electron is negative, right?
Yes.
Okay, इसके वजह से no,
Hmm.
calculation में हमको negative जैसा नहीं आएगा. We already know that it should be negative. If it is positive, the oil droplet won't be staying there. Positive charge
Yes.
वाले रहेगा ही नहीं. It will be coming down.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
ये वाला charge on an electron ये clear है? इस charge on electron के केस में you will be getting a question of this type. I'm giving you question. Everyone, please try to answer this. In the Millikan oil drop experiment, which of the following charges is impossible on the oil droplet? Which of the following charges is impossible on the oil droplet? I'm giving you options. Option A, minus 3.2 into 10 raised to minus 18. Option B, minus 64 into 10 raised to minus 17. Okay. Option C, minus 4 into 10 raised to minus 19 कूलम. ये सब कूलम्स में है. और ऑप्शन डी, minus 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 17 coulomb. These are the total charges on the oil droplet. Okay.
Sir, what was the main charge? Can you please?
The main charge is charge on electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb.
Okay.
The question is, which of the following charges will be impossible on an oil droplet? मतलब ये जो पर्टिकुलर चार्ज है, यू कैन नेवर फाइंड दैट ऑन एनी ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट. कोई भी एक्सपेरिमेंट करो, ये वाला चार्ज मिलेगा ही नहीं तुम लोग को. Any answer?
Sir, I answered to you in the chat box.
Okay. Option D. Okay. Vera C. Tanay option D. Option C. Option C is the right answer. You can never get the charge minus 4 into 10 raised to minus 19. ये क्वेश्चन के लिए आंसर कैसे करना है? If you are dividing the given charge by the smallest charge, which is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. The smallest charge is minus 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. Na? You need to get an integer number. Because if you are having, suppose option A ko, let us divide option A minus 3.2 into 10 raised to minus 18 coulomb by minus 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. Coulomb cancel होगा, negative symbol cancel हुआ, 1.6 once, 1.6 2 times होगा. So this is nothing but 20, 10 raised to minus 19 ऊपर गया तो 10 raised to plus 19 होगा, 10 raised to plus 19 into 10 raised to minus 18. It will be nothing but 10, 2 into 10 is 20. ये calculation सब लोग को आता है ना, 10 raised to minus 18 upon 10 raised to minus 19. This is nothing but 10. So you are getting 20. इसका मतलब क्या है? 20 electrons are present on the oil droplet. Option B भी देख लेते हैं. It is minus 64 into 10 raised to minus 17 coulomb divided by minus 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb.
So this will be 40 electrons.
This will be 40 or 400? Oh, sorry, 40.
40.
और ज़्यादा होगा ना? 1.6 into 40 times, I think it is 64.
Yes, then it might be more because here it is 17 minus 17.
Yeah, and it is 10 raised to minus 19. So this will be 100 now.
Yes.
So you have 4,000
Yes,
electrons.
4,000 electrons.
Okay, 4,000 electrons on the oil droplet is possible because the electrons are always attached down in the integer numbers. Suppose if you are taking option C, which is minus 4 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb upon minus 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb, which is equal to 40 upon 16. Na? 40 upon 16 is, this is 10 times, this is 4 times, which is 2.5. 2.5 electrons is never possible. 2.5 electrons ऐसे आ ही नहीं सकता है because always electrons are attached on the oil droplet in terms of integers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ऐसा हो सकता है. You can never have a 2 electrons along with 0.5 electrons. So this is an impossible value. This can never happen. Option D में कितने electrons लगा हुआ है बताओ? It is minus 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 17 divided by minus 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. Column cancel होगा, 1.6 cancel हुआ तो ऊपर गया तो 100 ना? 100 electrons is possible. These are possible values. 2.5
Sir,
electrons is an impossible value. Yeah, tell me.
So even 100 and the B option 400, these two will be highly unstable.
Highly unstable. अभी it is everything relative. वो जो oil droplet है, size of oil droplet is very large. Okay, when compared to the
Yes.
size of the electron. So एक electron इधर, they can be arranged. Don't worry, it can happen if the size of oil droplet is sufficiently large. Electron being very small, you can have the lot of electrons attached onto it with sufficient distancing. Okay, possible है.
Yes.
We cannot completely neglect it. मतलब पक्का नहीं बोल सकते, नहीं हो पाएगा, but it is possible.
Yes.
Okay, ठीक है. Then we have ये clear है सबको? ये वाला क्या हुआ इस एक्सपेरिमेंट में और इस एक्सपेरिमेंट के ऊपर क्वेश्चन कैसे आएगा?
Yes, sir.
Okay, shall we go to the next? Discovery of proton भी देख लिया ना हमने. Discovery of proton में again major important points क्या है? The ZNS screen is placed behind the cathode. Because of the placement of the cathode rays अभी उसके अंदर से नहीं आएगा करके नहीं बोलना चाहिए. Because cathode rays जो भी आ रहे, it is because of its interaction with this particular negative plate. So cathode rays will be coming out of it, but we are not observing these particular cathode rays because वो already हमने study कर लिया in cathode ray experiment and we decided them as electrons. We are interested in some other rays. Even though you are placing the ZNS screen behind cathode, you still get sparks. The sparks are because of the positively charged ions which are formed from the gas atoms. गैस एटम के अंदर से इलेक्ट्रॉन जो है ये कैथोड रेस की वजह से इलेक्ट्रॉन बाहर निकलने के बाद the left entity is nothing but positively charged species or positively charged ion. This will be attracted towards the negative terminal. As a result, it is achieving some velocity, and because of that, it is falling on this ZNS screen and it is producing some sparks. initially the sparks were not so distinct because they were having very less penetration power. So if you are making some perforations, then the anode rays, ये जो particular partially charged species है, they are referred to as anode rays. The anode rays can penetrate through them or can pass through them and can form distinct sparks. From the observation of sparks, we concluded that these must be charged, and in order to clearly understand the nature of the charge, we have placed one more external battery. When we placed the battery, they got deviated towards the negative terminal. By that, we have confirmed that these charges are positively charged. उसके बाद भी हमने we have placed mechanical wheel, it got rotated. इसका मतलब they should be possessing mass. Then we have placed an opaque object. They produced a shadow. From that, we have also concluded they also travel in straight lines. Then we have analyzed the source. The only source of the anode rays is gas atoms. This is the basic difference between the cathode ray experiment and the anode ray experiment. Very important. The only source of the anode rays is the gas atoms, but not the anode. And when he found the E/M ratio, next difference क्या है? The E/M ratio with different gases came to be a different value. The E/M ratio of different gases came to be a different value, and the E/M ratio with the hydrogen. Yeah.
So can you explain the source?
The source of the cathode rays, the source of the anode rays is only the gas atom. वो कैसे हुआ है? Whenever these cathode rays which are being emitted from the cathode, when they fall on the gas atom, the electrons present inside the gas atom are kicked out. क्योंकि इनका एनर्जी इतना ज्यादा है, इनके ऊपर गिरने के बाद इनका एनर्जी भी बढ़ गया है. So electron will be going away from the nucleus, or it will be kicked out of the system. After leaving out, it will be left with a positively charged entity plus the electron. These positively charged entities are nothing but anode rays. I am referring them to as anode rays. I am saying that anode rays won't be coming from the anode, because anode rays are nothing but the nuclei. If the nucleus is coming out, मान लेते हैं nucleus इसके अंदर से बाहर आ रहा है. If the nucleus is coming out, after some point of time, the size of the anode must be decreased. क्योंकि एक atom के अंदर considerable mass जिनका होता है, that is nothing but nucleus. Electron's mass is very negligible. So if you are finding the mass of an atom, it is nothing but mass of nucleus only. Electrons का mass add करने से ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं आएगा. Okay. So if nuclei are coming out of it, after some point of time, इस anode का mass कम हो जाना चाहिए और उसका size जो है वो घट जाना चाहिए, which doesn't happen at all. Okay. इसके लिए मैंने example दिया है ना. If you are having a huge solar system, if you are having asteroids going around the planet, there won't be any case where the planet will be leaving that particular asteroids and it will be going somewhere. Asteroids will be going out of the orbit. Okay, the planet will be present there itself. वैसा ही है, न्यूक्लियस जो है, न्यूक्लियस बाहर नहीं आ सकता है. Electrons can come out of it. The nucleus can be emitted out. The only source is gas atoms, but not the anode. Is this clear?
Yes.
अगर तुम लोग को अभी भी डाउट आ रहा है, मतलब सोर्स वो होगा कि नहीं, ऐसा भी एक कर सकते हो. सब लोग ध्यान दो. ये थॉट प्रोसेस में सोच रहा हूँ, see if that is reasonable or not. ऐसा कुछ कर सकता हूँ. देखो, I am taking gas of one material, suppose ऑक्सीजन का गैस लेके I am taking copper. Okay, I am taking copper and I am observing the anode rays. उसका E/M ratio निकाला. If all the particles are giving you the same E/M ratio, if all the particles are having the same E/M ratio, then I can say the anode rays must be emitted either from this or from the oxygen, right? क्योंकि इसका एनोड रे पार्टिकल, इसका एनोड रे पार्टिकल डिफरेंट हो सकता है ऑक्सीजन का. Or else now change the metal. Don't keep copper, keep silver or keep gold. Do the experiment. If you are doing the experiment, if you are getting E/M ratio, if the E/M ratio is not varying, पहले ऑक्सीजन और कॉपर के केस में जो आया था, अभी ऑक्सीजन और सिल्वर के केस में भी सेम वैल्यू आ रहे हैं, इसका मतलब क्या है, ये मेटल प्लेट से फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा है EBM रेशियो. कैन आई कंक्लूड दैट?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so from that I can say that anode is not a source. You can do several experiments. तुम लोग के पास अगर laboratory है तो चेक कर सकते हो क्या क्या करने से क्या क्या फर्क आ रहा है. If I'm changing this and if I'm not changing the gas, गैस को वही रख के इसको चेंज करते 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 एक्सपेरिमेंट कर रहा हूँ, EBM रेशियो कुछ फर्क नहीं आ रहा है, इसका मतलब दिस इज नॉट द सोर्स. Is this clear? But whenever I'm changing the gas, if the EBM ratio is changing, इसका मतलब gas should be the source. Okay. और हमारा रिजल्ट क्या है? With hydrogen जो भी एनोड रे पार्टिकल मिला है, with hydrogen जो भी एनोड रे पार्टिकल मिला है, उसका चार्ज सबसे मिनिमम वैल्यू आया और उसका मास भी सबसे मिनिमम वैल्यू आया. Or else the EBM ratio of it, when he found the EBM ratio of it, he found that to be a maximum value. E by M is maximum, but individually E and individually M are found to be minimum values. And when he compared that with the charge and mass of other anode ray particles, he was able to express the charge some P integer multiple of H positive and Q multiple of mass of H positive. Okay? इससे हमने क्या कंक्लूड किया, ये भी दिया है ना तुम लोग को ब्लैक बॉक्सेस देके, ये वाला पार्ट क्लियर है ना. इससे हम ये कंक्लूड कर रहे हैं H पॉजिटिव जैसा चीजें जो भी है वो सब गैसेस के अंदर रिपीट हो रहे हैं, इसलिए P टाइम्स जैसा एक्सप्रेस कर पा रहा हूँ. और ये जो मास ऑफ H पॉजिटिव जो है Q टाइम्स एक्सप्रेस कर पा रहा हूँ, मतलब H पॉजिटिव जैसे चीजें बाकी सब में रिपीट होता जा रहा है. If they are repeating in each and everything, I can say that repeating unit as fundamental. If it is present in each and everything and if it is of the same nature, I can say it is fundamental. So this H positive is concluded as fundamental. और एक observation क्या है, P the charge multiple always came to be less than the mass multiple. P is always less than Q. इसका मतलब out of Q entities which are present in a given anode ray particle, only P entities are possessing charge. Remaining Q minus P entities are not possessing any charge. ये किस वजह से हुआ है? Because inside an atom we know that there is existence of one more particle which is having only mass but no charge, which was later discovered as neutron. वही हमको आज देखना है. इसमें हमने कंक्लूजन क्या निकाला है? Everyone, please understand this. The charge multiple P always came less than the mass multiple Q. From this हमारा conclusion क्या है? Inside an atom there are entities which have only mass but no charge. If all the entities are having masses and having charges equal to that of H positive, और जो P and Q दोनों का वैल्यू सेम आना चाहिए था. P times of H positive and Q times of H positive जो है, P must be equal to Q. बट क्या आ रहा है, हमेशा P less than Q और Q greater than P जैसा कुछ आ रहा है. From that I'm concluding that only P particles are having charge out of the Q particles which are having mass. Any doubt at this particular point? Anyone?
No, sir.
Anyone? Okay. Can I go to discovery of neutron then? So इस
Yes.
particular experiment से हमको एक idea आया है, like atom के अंदर और भी कुछ particles है, fundamental particles हो सकता है जो. और एक interesting बात है, ये जो इलेक्ट्रॉन और प्रोटॉन डिस्कवर होने के बाद it took lot of time for the discovery of neutron. इलेक्ट्रॉन प्रोटॉन डिस्कवर होने के बाद they discovered nucleus without knowing that न्यूट्रॉन्स जो है न्यूक्लियस के अंदर रहता है. डिस्कवरी ऑफ न्यूक्लियस हो गया है, बट दे डिडंट डिस्कवर न्यूट्रॉन सेपरेटली. मतलब न्यूट्रॉन जैसा है करके कुछ कभी नहीं, किसी ने भी नहीं बताया. The discovery of neutron was made in the year 1932. 1932, which is just like कितना साल हुआ है? 90 कितना हुआ है? 90 years. Okay, 90 साल पहले ही हुआ है discovery of neutron. After the discovery of neutron, there was discovery of radioactivity. Scientists came to understand. They understood what is meant by radioactive reactions. What is radioactivity? They understood more and more about fission, nuclear fusion, these things in detail. Okay. अभी जो nuclear energy जो है, the basis for each and everything, for proper understanding all those things is with the discovery of neutron. Discovery of neutron was made by Chadwick, James Chadwick, and for the discovery of it, he even awarded Nobel Prize. Discovery of neutron, James Chadwick. He discovered that in the year 1932. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Actually, everyone should have been Nobel Prizes. All these discoveries.
Yeah, exactly. But इनको Nobel Prize, I need to refer to that. इनको Nobel Prize मिला है कि नहीं? गोल्डस्टीन और जे थॉमसन को देखना पड़ेगा. एक बार can you hold for 2 minutes? एक बार चेक कर लेता हूँ.
Yes, no problem, sir.
Yeah. J. Thomson. Yeah, J. Thomson also he was also awarded Nobel Prize. Great medicine theoretical experiments. I'm referring उसको इलेक्ट्रॉन डिस्कवरी के लिए मिला या किसके लिए मिला देख रहा हूँ. Theoretical and experimental investigations on conduction of electricity. Okay. Yeah, J. Thomson also received a Nobel Prize. गोल्डस्टीन को नहीं मिला लग रहा है. गोल्डस्टीन को एक बार क्रॉस चेक कर लेना बाद में, बट मुझे तो नहीं मिला. J. Thomson received Nobel Prize.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
ठीक है. Let us see the experiment for the discovery of neutron. Exact apparatus है सब नहीं देखेंगे हम, because in order to understand all those things, we will be requiring a lot of other knowledge. We will be understanding the reaction by which the neutron got discovered. Okay. The reaction is.
Sir, something about alpha particles, sir.
Yeah, something about alpha particles. Exactly. उसने क्या किया? He took an alpha particle. Let us understand what is an alpha particle also. Alpha particle is nothing but helium nucleus. This is alpha particle, which is helium nucleus. Helium nucleus matlab the atomic number of helium is 2 and the mass number is 4. इसका मतलब you are having 2 protons and 2 electrons, and you also have 2 neutrons. Neutrons के लिए क्या करना है? You need to subtract the atomic number from the mass number. 4 minus 2 ना. So if you are removing both the electrons, दोनों electrons को बाहर निकाल दो, तब बचेगा क्या? Only 2 protons, which can be represented as He2 positive. Okay, this is nothing but helium nucleus. Helium nucleus is alpha particle, which is nothing but only protons along with neutrons. Okay, when he bombarded helium nucleus or collided the helium nucleus with the beryllium nucleus is 4, atomic number is 4 and the mass number is 9. In the experiment, he observed a change in the nucleus. The nucleus got changed to carbon 6C12. This particular reaction is a nuclear reaction. This is not a usual chemical reaction. This is a nuclear reaction where there is reaction among the nuclei. Everyone, let us try to understand the basic difference between a chemical reaction and a nuclear reaction. I am taking an example for chemical reaction, which is neutralization. Take an example ले रहा हूँ, NaOH on reacting with HCl, it will convert into NaCl plus H2O, water. एक reaction है. Okay. If you are observing this reaction, in this reaction, left hand side में जो atoms है, which are sodium, oxygen, hydrogen and chlorine. The elements are sodium, oxygen, hydrogen and chlorine. On the right hand side also you are having same elements, sodium, chlorine, oxygen and hydrogen. So the nature of the atom is not changing in a chemical reaction. But if you observe this particular reaction, this is a reaction which is termed as nuclear reaction. What happens in a nuclear reaction? There will be change in the nature of the atom. Helium जो है, helium और beryllium इन दोनों के बीच में reaction होके, you are forming a new atom, new element, carbon. Whatever the reaction may be, there has to be conservation of mass. ये सब होना ही चाहिए. एक बार देखते हैं लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में. टेल मी द नंबर ऑफ प्रोटॉन्स इन हीलियम. नंबर ऑफ प्रोटॉन्स इन हीलियम कितना है? It is nothing but the atomic number, na? 2 protons. The
Yes,
number of
2.
protons in beryllium, there are 4. So the total
4.
protons on the left hand side is 2 plus 4, which is equals to 6 protons.
Yes.
On the right hand side, what are the number of protons? 6 protons.
6.
So there is conservation of protons. Okay. On the left hand side, what are the total number of neutrons? 4 minus 2 neutrons है. इस केस में 9 minus 4 5 neutrons है. So total you have 7 neutrons. On the right hand side you have only 6 neutrons. So एक neutron कहाँ चला गया? So वो जो particular neutron है, okay, that got emitted during the reaction. So this is the first time they were observing a neutron. एक न्यूट्रॉन रिएक्शन के टाइम पे बाहर निकल के आया है. ओके, सो दिस पर्टिकुलर रिएक्शन लेड टू द कंफर्मेशन ऑफ न्यूट्रॉन. न्यूट्रॉन करके एक है विच इज चार्जलेस. वो चार्जलेस जैसे कैसे कंफर्म किया? इट इज नॉट अफेक्टेड बाय एनी इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड. whenever you are passing those rays through an electric field, it is not affected. Initially at the start they thought that these rays are gamma rays. इनको गामा रेज जैसे सोचते थे. गामा रेज आर प्योरली सोर्सेस ऑफ एनर्जी, जस्ट लाइक लाइट. लाइट इज प्योरली अ सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी, इट डजंट पोसेस एनी मास. गामा रेज जो है दोज आर एमिटेड बाय सन. सन के अंदर से जो भी रेस निकल के आता है, कॉस्मिक रेज, गामा रेज, ऑल दीज आर हाईली एनर्जी रेज. इफ गामा रेज फॉल्स ऑन अस, इट विल बी वेरी डेंजरस. ओके, ठीक है. सो इनिशियली दीज रेज, as they are having very high penetration power, they were expected to be gamma rays. But these rays are not gamma rays because they concluded that by passing these rays through an electric field, they are not deviated. And if you are putting a mechanical small wheel in the in the path of these neutrons, the wheel is rotated. If the wheel is rotating, these should be having mass. Gamma rays doesn't possess any mass. Okay.
Yes. Sir, I
Yeah.
have another question.
Yeah, tell me.
So now how did he manage to project these rays?
वो जो है वही बोल रहा हूँ, वो जो एक्सपेरिमेंटल सेटअप है वो थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स है. in this particular experiment, you need to take very more care because this is a nuclear reaction. Nuclear reactions will be involved with lot of energy. If you don't take proper care, the experiment may lead to several other catastrophes. ठीक है?
Completions.
Complexions. So इसलिए I'm not discussing about the apparatus because the apparatus is complex and you may not understand it. Even in when you go into 11th, तभी भी ज़्यादा कुछ उसमें समझ में नहीं आएगा. We just need to understand that this reaction led to the discovery of neutron.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
I hope this is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And J. Thomson ने और भी कुछ experiments किया है based on there is something called momentum, conservation of momentum principles. ये सब लेके उसने mass of the neutron. He concluded that mass of neutron is almost equal to mass of proton. इस पर्टिकुलर एक्सपेरिमेंट में हमने चार्ज और मास के बारे में बात नहीं किया ना. इसमें
सर थॉमसन का एटॉमिक मॉडल भी है ना.
जे थॉमसन का एटॉमिक मॉडल भी है, उसके बारे में भी हम डिस्कस करेंगे. वाटरमेलन मॉडल अभी डिस्कस करेंगे. इन 5-10 minutes we will be discussing that. Okay. The charge of proton is exactly equal to the charge of electron and it is plus 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. The mass of the proton is equal to 1.67 into 10 raised to minus 27 kg. Okay, yeah, mass of electron कितना देखा हमने 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg ना, वो दिया है ना तुम लोग को value. This is mass of electron and the mass of proton is 1.67 times 10 raised to minus 27 kg. Or the relation between mass of proton and mass of electron is the mass of proton is 1836 times more than mass of electron, which is very huge. Okay, 1836 times heavier than mass of electron. Similarly, mass of neutron also comes out to be almost same 1.67. आगे और कुछ नंबर रहेगा, but मैं इतना ही लिख रहा हूँ. 10 raised to minus 27 kg. And mass of neutron is 1837 times mass of electron. वो 1836 है तो 1837 एक टाइम बड़ा है थोड़ा सा. Hence, I am concluding mass of neutron is almost equal to mass of proton. Is this clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Last final conclusions लिख के we will be seeing a question. I hope alpha particle is clear to everyone. Alpha particle is nothing but helium's nucleus. After removing electrons, जो भी चीज बचता है, that is referred to as alpha particle. Okay. So we discussed about electron. We discussed about proton. We discussed about neutron. Let us try to mark the charge of it, the mass of it. We also mark something called relative charge. And relative mass. Relative charge and relative mass. Charge, mass, relative charge, relative mass. What is the charge of electron? It is minus 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. What is the charge of proton? It is plus 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. What is the charge of neutron?
0.
It is 0, chargeless.
Yes, sir.
Mass of electron is 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg. Mass of proton is 1.67 into 10 raised to minus 27 kg. And mass of neutron is almost equal to उतना ही है और decimals में थोड़ा फर्क आएगा. Okay. Relative charge मतलब what is meant by relative? Relative is nothing but whenever you are comparing it with something else. For relative charge, we divide the charge of electron by 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19, or sorry, relative charge is nothing but charge of electron divided by, or charge of that particular particle, sorry, charge of any given particle divided with the charge of proton. Relative mass क्या होगा? कैसे भी डिफाइन कर सकते हो? You can define it as mass of particle. You can take any of the thing. You can divide. You can say with respect to mass of electron or mass of proton or mass of neutron. चलता है. Okay. If I am defining that with respect to mass of neutron, अब इस पर्टिकुलर केस में रिलेटिव चार्ज ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन कितना हो जाएगा? माइनस 1.6 इंटू 10 रेज़ टू माइनस 19 डिवाइड बाय प्लस 1.6 इंटू 10 रेज़ टू माइनस 19, कितना आएगा वैल्यू? नथिंग बट -1, राइट?
Yes.
चार्ज ऑफ प्रोटॉन क्या हो जाएगा? इट विल बी +1. चार्ज ऑफ न्यूट्रॉन विल अगेन बी इक्वल टू 0. रिलेटिव मास, मास ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन बाय मास ऑफ प्रोटॉन, सॉरी मास ऑफ न्यूट्रॉन, नथिंग बट 1 by 1837. अभी हमने क्या देखा? मास ऑफ न्यूट्रॉन इज 1837 टाइम्स मास ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन, और मास ऑफ न्यूट्रॉन इलेक्ट्रॉन अपॉन न्यूट्रॉन इज 1 by 1837. प्रोटॉन के लिए इट विल बी 1 by, सॉरी, प्रोटॉन के लिए इट इज ऑलमोस्ट इक्वल टू 1, almost equal to 1, because mass of neutron and proton are almost same, and this will be exactly equal to 1. Clear?
Yes.
I'm giving you one question. Try to use this particular data and try to answer it. The question is very important. कर सकते हो तुम लोग. I trust you. कर लोगे तुम लोग. The question is, arrange following particles in increasing order of their E upon M ratio. Arrange following particles in increasing order of their E upon M ratio. And you need to compare only the magnitude, no need to take the sign. If you are taking only the magnitude, ये सब कभी सुना है? We apply symbol mod.
So modulus?
Modulus. Modulus of anything is nothing but a positive value, na?
Yes, sir.
You just need to get the magnitudes only. ये E/M ratio में you need to compare only magnitude. No need to take the sign, because charge of electron negative होता है ना. Sign
Yes.
लेने की जरूरत
Yes.
नहीं. Particles, given particles are, you have an alpha particle, an electron, a proton, and a neutron. You need to arrange these particles in increasing orders of their E/M ratio. What is E? Charge of that particular particle. What is M? Mass of that particular particle. For the benefit of others, I'm again explaining what is meant by an alpha particle. An alpha particle is nothing but helium nucleus. Inside a helium, you have 2 protons and 2 neutrons. Nucleus के अंदर. Okay, there are no electrons. So if you want to find charge of it, charge of alpha कितना होगा? It is nothing but 2 times charge of proton, लिख सकता हूँ, which is 2 into 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. Can I say that?
Yes, sir.
What
Definitely.
what is mass of alpha particle? It will be 2 times mass of proton plus 2 times mass of neutron, which is almost equal to 4 times mass of proton. So alpha particle का charge जो है, it is equal to 2 times charge of proton and mass जो है 4 times mass of proton. Once you know charge values, once you know everything, you need to simply calculate E by M ratio. ऊपर देखो सारा values दिया हुआ है, सब कुछ है, relative values भी है. Try to get me the answer. You need to tell me the order of E by M ratio of alpha, electron, proton and neutron. Take few minutes, take sufficient time and tell me the answer. After this, we will be going to atomic models. The first model is of J.J. Thomson.
Sir, E by M ratio means charge upon mass, right?
Yeah, charge upon mass. Charge का value पता है तुम्हें, mass का value पता है. You can divide it and you can check, or you can use
Yes.
some other logic to compare. You can either do a mathematical analysis or you can use some logical analysis because you know the ratios. You know the relation between mass of electron, mass of proton, mass of neutron. You know the relation between the charges. Everyone, E by M ratio मतलब आप लोग को क्या कैलकुलेट करना है, उसका चार्ज और पार्टिकल का चार्ज का वैल्यू डिवाइडेड बाय उस पार्टिकल का मास का वैल्यू. Any answers? If you are having any doubt, you can ask me. I will help you.
Sir, I answered.
Okay. Any other answers? Okay. Neutron, proton, electron, and alpha particle. Okay. Once check your answer, Viraj. I think थोड़ा गलत है वो. Once check your answer again.
So I think electron comes before the proton.
Okay. तुमने कैसे किया? You have taken the values of charges and masses and you divided it, right? Divide करके
Yes.
divide करके check किया. Calculation एक बार cross check करो.
Yes, sir. One second.
बाकी लोग भी put your answers. If you are having any doubt, others also ask me. Please ask me. Any other answers? एक बार देखो सभी लोग, प्लीज कॉन्सेंट्रेट. जिनको कैसे करना है वो समझ में नहीं आए तो एक बार मैं समझा रहा हूँ. देखो, if I want to calculate E by M ratio of, if I want to calculate E by M ratio of, suppose मान लेते पहले इलेक्ट्रॉन का. E by M ratio of electron is nothing but charge of the electron divided by mass of electron, which is nothing but charge of electron is, if I'm taking only the magnitude, 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 divided by mass is 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31. वैसा ही E by m ratio of proton क्या हो जाएगा? It will be charge of the proton upon mass of proton, which is equals to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 upon 1.67 into 10 raised to minus 27 kg. A coulomb per kg, ये भी coulomb per kg. E by m ratio of neutron आसान है, because the charge of neutron upon mass of
Is
neutron,
is
charge
0.
of neutron is 0. Charge of
So
neutron 0 by anything will be 0.
yes.
Okay. E by m ratio of alpha particle क्या होगा? Charge of alpha divided by mass of alpha. Charge of alpha क्या है? 2 times charge of proton upon 4 times mass of proton, which is 2 into 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 upon 4 into 1.67 into 10 raised to minus 27. ये कैलकुलेट करके तुम लोग कंपेयर कर सकते हो. This is one of the method which is by using calculation. But rather than doing this, you can do one more thing. एक बार देखते हैं. E by m ratio of electron is nothing but charge of electron divided by mass of electron. उसको ऐसा ही रखो साइड में. E by m ratio of proton क्या होगा? It is charge of proton upon mass of proton. We know that charge of proton is equal to charge of electron. And what is mass of proton in terms of mass of electron? It is nothing but 1836 times mass of electron.
Yes.
So I can write this E by m ratio as 1 divided by 1836 into charge of electron divided by mass of electron. एक बार ये दोनों values देखो. E by m ratio of electron is simply charge of electron divided by mass of electron. E by m ratio of proton is 1 by 1836 times charge of electron by mass of electron. इन दोनों में से कौन ज्यादा है? कौन ज्यादा है?
The
प्रोटॉन का I am dividing it by 1836. ध्यान रखना.
so electron will be more.
Electron will be more. This I am dividing it by 1836. I am not multiplying it by 1836.
Okay.
Divide 1 by कर रहा हूँ ना, so electron का ज्यादा है. कैलकुलेशन करके देख सकते हो, बट ये तो आसान है ना. E by m ratio of न्यूट्रॉन क्या है? ये तो ऑलरेडी 0 है. E by m ratio of अल्फा पार्टिकल क्या है? It is charge of alpha upon mass of alpha, which is 2 times charge of proton upon 4 times mass of proton, which is in turn equal to 1 by 2 into, ये 2 से cancel किया. Charge of proton is nothing but charge of electron divided by mass of proton is 1836 times mass of electron,
Yes.
which is equal to 1 by 2 into 1836 times charge of electron divided by mass of electron. Now can I compare? अभी अल्फा पार्टिकल और प्रोटॉन के कंपैरिजन में कौन ज्यादा है? अल्फा पार्टिकल और प्रोटॉन के कंपैरिजन में थोड़ा ये कैलकुलेशन आप लोग 8th में है ना, थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट हो सकता है, बट कोशिश करो. अल्फा पार्टिकल और प्रोटॉन, इन दोनों में से कौन ज्यादा है?
सर लगता है
प्रोटॉन ज्यादा होना चाहिए ना, बिकॉज यू आर
हाँ,
अगेन डिवाइडिंग इट बाय ग्रेटर नंबर. देखो, यू आर अगेन मल्टीप्लाइंग इट बाय 2. यू आर डिवाइडिंग इट बाय 1836 एंड यू आर अगेन डिवाइडिंग इट बाय 2. सो वैल्यू कम हो जाएगा ना.
Yes.
Okay, so by comparing all these things I can say neutron is the least, neutron less than, उसके बाद अल्फा पार्टिकल है, अल्फा पार्टिकल के बाद प्रोटॉन है, सबसे ज्यादा इलेक्ट्रॉन है. दिस इज द आंसर.
Okay.
This is the answer. Neutron less than, alpha less than, proton less than electron. इलेक्ट्रॉन का सबसे ज्यादा है। नहीं तो ऐसा भी सोच सकते हो, इलेक्ट्रॉन का मास सबसे कम है ना, इफ यू आर डिवाइडिंग बाय एनी नंबर विच इज वेरी वेरी लेस, द वैल्यू विल बी हाईएस्ट।
Yeah.
मैथमेटिक्स, ओके। और यू कैन कैलकुलेट दिस, ये कैलकुलेट करके भी देख सकते हो, बट दिस इज बेटर
Yes, because that becomes, sir, very lengthy.
लेंदी। वो कैलकुलेशन थोड़ा बड़ा होगा और वो नंबर्स भी 1.67 ऐसा कुछ है। You just need to tell me the order na, you need not tell me the exact value, so no need to calculate the exact thing.
Yes. Sir, I also tried the value relatively
Okay,
afterwards because I got confused in my calculations.
okay, no problem,
So
no
then
problem. Good, samjha.
Yes.
Good. If you are getting this particular idea, it is very good because we have seen the relative values, relative mass, relative charge, ये देखा है ना हमने. So if you are taking the application of it, तो सही रहेगा. Is this clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. We are left with only 5 minutes. We will understand. We will start analyzing atomic models. Atomic models क्या होता है? Let us understand what is meant by an atomic model first of all. Now that we have seen the discovery of electron, proton, and neutron, अभी scientists ने क्या किया है? They started analyzing the arrangement of these things inside an atom. Atom के अंदर ये कैसे रहेंगे? The first and foremost model was given by J.J. Thomson. Thomson's atomic model, J.J. Thomson. His atomic model is also referred to as watermelon model, or plum pudding model, or it is also called as choco chip model. Okay, इसने क्या सोचा है? The entire positive charge or positive charge contributing units must be placed inside an atom, just like the pulp of the watermelon. जैसे watermelon का pulp जो होता है, it is uniformly distributed inside an atom, right?
सर जो सीड है वो निगेटिवली चार्ज और बाकी का रेड है ना वो पॉजिटिवली चार्ज.
वो positively charged है, exactly. Just like the pulp of the watermelon, he is saying that the positive charge is distributed throughout the atom. The positively charged entities are distributed throughout the atom.
Yes.
Okay, and just like the pulp seeds of the watermelon, the electrons are embedded inside these positive charges. Okay, and as the atom is neutral, any atom is neutral, he concluded that the number of positive charges must be equal to the number of negative charges.
Yes.
Number of positive units is equal to number of negative units, or else from this particular statement he established electrical neutrality of atom. मतलब atom is electrically neutral करके बताया उसने. Okay, but ये जो particular model है, it got failed because of his own student. उसका Rutherford जो है, he is his student. Okay, so Thomson के अंदर ही वो student था. उसने एक experiment किया. The experiment is alpha ray scattering experiment. Based on the observations of those particular experiment, वो उसके पास आके ऐसा कुछ कहा, सर आपने जो मॉडल दिया है और मेरा जो ऑब्जर्वेशन से, both of them are not correlating. वो ऑब्जर्वेशन के हिसाब से कुछ और होना चाहिए था, बट आपके मॉडल जो है उसकी वजह से they are not matching. Okay, so in the next class we will be seeing that particular experiment and how according to that particular experiment we discarded J.J. Thomson's model. ओके आप लोग के स्कूल में अभी अभी स्टार्ट हुआ होगा आई थिंक रदरफोर्ड मॉडल का के बारे में पढ़ा क्या किसी ने मे बी इट कम्स इन 9th class maybe it comes in 9th class or 8th class
Sir, that gold sheet one, na?
yeah gold foil
That
alpha ray
experiment.
scattering experiment with the help of
Yes,
gold foil.
yes.
Yeah we will be seeing that we will be analyzing that and we will be seeing
Yes,
why
we
this model is
studied about
started.
that.
Okay next class I will be asking you questions if time permits go through that alpha ray scattering experiment by next lecture we will have a discussion on that okay
Yes, sir.
Sir,
yeah
in our school, this experiment is